Hello, this is John from caveofprogramming.com. In this tutorial, we're going to look at setting the property of a bean, where the property is a map, and we're going to start with just looking at this tutorial for the special case where you want to set the properties of a map where the key and the value are both strings. So I've changed this jungle class, and what I've done is I've given it a private map which has keys and values of strings. I've set that to a hash map, and that's called foods, and I've supplied it with a set method called setFoods, and I've changed the toString method so that it outputs the contents of the map. In beans.xml, I've got rid of all the stuff that existed previously within the jungle bean, and I've taken all these animal beans and put them outside of it, and we're going to use those in the next tutorial probably. So the question is, how can we set that property which is a map of strings of strings? It's a map with values and keys of strings. And again, it's pretty simple. Let's go to the beans view here, and let's right click jungle and go to insert property, just as we always do, and the name of the property in this case is foods. That's the property we want to set. And then I'll right click foods and I'll go insert props element. Props element is props, of course, stands for property, and here you don't confuse the properties that we're talking about here with properties meaning just a value that you want to set ultimately through a set method. This is a kind of different kind of properties in the sense of a properties class in Java. Well, hopefully you're still with me. I'm going to go to insert props and then right click that and insert prop element, and I'll give that the name of a key I want to set in the map. I'll call it let's call it gorilla, and I'll save that, and now we'll look at the source, and hopefully this will make things clear. So what we've done, if I do Ctrl+Shift+F to format it, is within the jungle bean, as we always have, we've got this property element to actually set the property, and that corresponds, the name of that is the name of the property I want to set, corresponding to my set method. And within that I've got these props tags, and then I have a list of prop tags. So I've got one prop tag here with a key set to gorilla, and I'm going to type in between opening and closing prop the food for a gorilla, which I assume will be banana. And let's just copy that and paste it in. I'll have a couple more, and I'll set the key for another one, and another animal name. Let's say, well, what lives in a jungle? As soon as I put myself on the spot, my mind goes blank. I can't think of anything that lives in jungles. I'm going to say panda, panda, and let's say it eats bamboo. And let's have another one, snake, which eats probably anything it can find, but let's say eggs. So I'll save that. And so what this is going to set now is, well, it's going to call the set method here, setFoods, and that takes a map which has strings and strings as the keys and values. So if I run this now, let's go to app, and we see that we've correctly put stuff in that map, and it's actually being displayed via my toString method here. I'm just iterating through the map in a normal way in Java. So that's useful for a simple case where you've got a map with strings as keys and values. And in the next tutorial, we'll look at a slightly more complicated case where you're not using strings as the values. So join me again then, and until next time, happy coding.